The most challenging thing when it comes to reviewing The Nightmare Before Christmas is, do you review it on Halloween or on Christmas itself?
The Nightmare Before Christmas was released in 1993 and directed by Henry Selick. This was his directorial debut, and he would later go on to make films like James and the Giant Peach and one of my all-time favorites, Coraline.
So off the bat, you've already got my attention.
The Nightmare Before Christmas tells the story of Jack Skellington, who is sort of a mascot for Halloween, in the same vein as the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus, for example. Jack is loved and revered by the citizens of Halloween Town, but he finds himself getting bored with the holiday as a whole. So while he's out exploring, he finds the lineup of holiday-themed trees, and after discovering Christmas, he wants to merge the two holidays, but it comes with consequences he's not ready for. I've seen The Nightmare Before Christmas many times throughout my life, and while it's never been one of my favorites, I've always liked it for what it was. It wasn't until I started my marathon that I would find myself truly loving and appreciating it. The film clocks in at about an hour and 16 minutes long, but it manages to say a whole lot in that short runtime.
For starters, and this should be obvious, but the film still manages to look incredible, especially after all these years.
If you know of me, I love claymation-style films like this. The amount of effort, care, and charm put into them is undeniable. Now, I love animation, both traditional and 3D, but claymation has such a unique charm that I've always admired. I've made a few stop-motion videos myself in the past, and while they come nowhere close to the quality of these films, it definitely gave me the vague idea of what it would be like to make one. The fact that there are so many movable and physical objects in frame, and not to mention the amount of articulation required, really pulls me into the world. Not only are the characters memorable, but their designs are really creative. Even if a lot of them are admittedly one-dimensional, you'll remember them long after the movie is over. Jack Skellington, Sally, the mayor, and even down to the townsfolk, they all stand out in terms of design and character traits. I also love the visual humor the characters bring, like Jack disguising himself as a snowman, or Finkelstein scratching his brain. Even the visual gags are really great. One of my favorites being Jack when he's trying to make a paper snowflake, but he makes a spider instead.
And my god, some of the dialogue in this movie was way funnier than I remember.
I'm only an elected official here. I can't make decisions by myself.
What I found most surprising upon rewatch was the actual music itself. The songs are really great. I fully admit that I'm not a fan of musicals, but it also depends on the movie that I'm watching. I tend to love the older Disney films, and even on the side of horror, I like films like Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber at Fleet Street, so it really just depends.
I think the reason why the music works so well in this movie, well, apart from being so good, of course, right, is the fact that it never actually drags. The movie is always moving at a brisk pace, and the music itself actually never detracts from the overall experience.
I think Jack as a protagonist is one that many people can relate to, especially as an adult. We all know what it's like to go through the motions of doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes it feels stale, and him wanting to try something new is admirable, even if his thought process is misguided. It's only when things go haywire in Christmastown that he realizes what he did wrong. He then realizes that experimenting with new ideas in Halloween will make him happy once more.
There's more to it than that, but ultimately I just think that Jack's arc actually was a pretty well-realized one. And admittedly, it's a simplistic one, but I think we all can agree that it's nice to reflect on every once in a while.
I admit this is more of a shorter review, and I don't have a whole lot to add to the discussion, but let's go ahead and get to the verdict. Overall, it should go without saying, but The Nightmare Before Christmas is still a very good movie. It's visually stunning, has a great score, and features a lovable cast of characters. If for whatever reason you haven't seen it, give it a watch. Now whether you would decide to watch on Halloween or Christmas is completely up to you. I guess both would be a good answer.
With all that said, guys, I hope you guys all have a very safe and happy holidays, and thank you as always for watching and supporting my channel. And until next time, guys, this has been ThatGuyMatt, and I will see you guys all next time. Take care. This hot cocoa is so damn good. I'm drinking this in between my recordings to keep my voice from getting stale. The thing is, it's also really sweet, so like I'm having to kind of like distinguish it with water and whatnot. You probably don't give a shit about this. I'm probably gonna put this as a blooper, but I'm actually quite surprised how good this hot cocoa is. If only I had some marshmallows or some whipped cream, I think that would make it much better, but it's still good.